Hey YouTube, this is Brad in Fort Worth, Texas. It's been a handful of months since I've done a YouTube video, so I thought I'd kind of jump back in it. This is the Staccato XC, and so I kind of wanted to go through a couple things just in case some people are thinking about making modifications uh, to their Staccato. So there's a company called Vulcan Machine Works, and they are in Plano, Texas, kind of around the Dallas Fort Worth area. And I had sent an XC off to them to basically get a metal grip module, do it in the gold, and then doing some of the small parts in gold, including the barrel. Um, so what I will say about Vulcan Machine Works, and unfortunately, I just can't reach more viewers on this, but I would not use them. Um, the reason why is because so this grip module is about 800 bucks, and I told them I wanted to keep the Staccato XC trigger because the trigger that they were going to put on this particular grip module was like a 3.5 pound trigger pull weight, and they couldn't get it any lower than that. So I didn't want to use their trigger, so I just went with their grip module and was keeping the factory Staccato trigger. So the problem, a couple of things. One thing, whenever I got the gun back, the firing pin was jammed in the slide, like it would not work. I don't know what they did or how they even did that, but I had to replace the firing pin, which kind of sucked because when I got the gun, I immediately went to the range and then couldn't even shoot one round out of it. So that was very disappointing. The other disappointing thing was that the Staccato trigger is more narrow than their opening, where the trigger would protrude here. So it was extremely loose, and I wish I would have done a video just showing that. I mean, it was super loose, ridiculous actually. So the thing with Vulcan Machine Works, so I thought was kind of shady, was they said, well, since you're not using our trigger, the Staccato trigger is not going to fit, which they don't tell you any of that before you send your gun off to have it modified or enhanced. So basically what it came down to is this grip module, unless you're going to use a Vulcan Machine Works trigger, you're not going to like the factory Staccato trigger because of the fit. It's extremely loose, like crazy loose. It's fucking goddamn ridiculous. Vulcan Machine Works, they're just a heads up to everybody. Don't use them. Or if you do, just know what you're getting into. It seems like they do a lot of Glock porting and stuff like that. So, a Glock to send off's a little different than a $4,500 gun. And then to get it back, and it wasn't even usable because of the firing pin, and then the loose trigger was a total joke. So I know there are a lot of companies out there that do this sort of thing. Vulcan Machine Works in Texas, do not use them. Or if you do use them, at least you have a warning now of what you may get yourself into. So, enough of that. The grip module looked pretty sweet on here. I mean, it looked badass, but it just it turned a nice gun into something shitty because they just don't tell you any information. They'll happily take your money, but they will not do anything to fix that problem. So, enough about Vulcan Machine Works. So, what I have done is Atlas is making a grip module for the Staccato. So I got the Atlas grip module, I got an Atlas trigger, and I'm using the Infinity Trax trigger, and that's so I like it whenever it sits flush or fairly flush with the frame, or excuse me, the slide. And I used the Sear Spring from Infinity. Initially, I wanted the Infinity trigger on here, so it was going to be kind of the purple hammer, purple trigger. The thing is, the sear spring, or the sear and the disconnector that Infinity uses, it's a titanium, so it was a little smaller than what the Staccato, the factory Staccato sear. Same with the disconnector. The Staccato and the Atlas both, they were both a little bit bigger than what Infinity had sent. And whenever I called Infinity and asking them, because my issue I was having was I couldn't get it to reset. I could get a trigger pull weight extremely low, but I could not get it to reset. And that's basically, well, one thing, because I'm using several manufacturers' parts to basically make this Staccato XC a better firearm. Not better, just faster, I should say. Yeah, I wanted to use the Infinity sear and disconnector, but I couldn't because the fit just wasn't right and couldn't get it to reset. So, and the thing is with that, whenever I called Infinity and talked to them, they're making that Staccato trigger kit specifically for the polymer grip on the Staccato. So, yeah, just it wasn't a drop-in part. And the thing is, due to the size of the sear, we just couldn't get it. We couldn't get it to fit right. Not without having malfunction. So, disregarded or did away with the Infinity trigger for the gun and the sear and the disconnector. So even the sear spring on the Infinity, you're going to have to manipulate it quite a bit. It will take some machining in order to get it to fit and to get it to sit on the Staccato sear. But if you know a little bit about the guns, it's something you can definitely figure out with the right tools. That's the biggest thing, just having the right tools to do this shit. Because I'm not an expert, I'm not a gunsmith or anything like that. But these things are, anyone can definitely do this. It's just going to take some time, and the investment on the tools is going to be the biggest thing. So, and the thing to do is probably practice on Glocks. Well, not striker fire, but probably guns that actually do have a sear spring and the sear and disconnector and those sort of things. More of the 1911 style, just for practice, before you probably start tinkering with expensive guns that you may fuck up or it's just not going to be what you want. So, went with the Atlas grip module. The grip module fits awesome. It was perfect. There was I don't think I did any sort of polishing or machining on the grip module to make it fit. It was great. Let's see what else. So I went with the Atlas trigger because the Infinity trigger is just a tiny bit, just hundredths of an inch, a little taller than the Atlas trigger. So I didn't want, since the trigger on the Infinity was a purple, the anodized, I didn't want to start filing that down because I don't have the equipment for the anodization, not yet. So I started doing kind of building my inventory on Cerakote and sandblasting, and so I'm about to get into some other things. Since now, I ended up getting my FFL and SOT over the past couple of months, which is pretty sweet. So it's going to allow me to do a lot more things, and I have to wait. And the biggest thing of transfer fees was kind of why I did all this with the FFL and getting a SOT license, or the XOT tax thing. So, and this, if you already have a business, which I do, I'm in the landscaping industry. So I just set everything up with the ATF as far as the FFL goes and SOT through my existing business. It was too easy not to. So if there's anybody watching this and you have a business, I would recommend getting your SOT and your FFL if you don't have it already, just because it's going to save you a lot of time. And it's going to save you a lot of money on transfer fees, especially taxes. Whenever you start doing suppressors and short barrel stuff, you pay $500 for an SOT, and you know, every time you buy a suppressor or a short barrel rifle or something like that, you're paying $200 a pop. So, you know, basically after 3 suppressors, you've already got your money back, or you're saving money, I should say, as opposed to going to your local FFL and paying a transfer fee and the tax and all that. So, Staccato XC, Atlas grip module, Atlas trigger, Infinity hammer, Infinity sear. I'm a huge fan of Atlas. They're probably one of my favorite guns, if not my favorite. I just love the way they feel, how smooth everything. Now this is a staccato slide, but this thing is still, the staccato slide's super smooth too. I do love the Atlas grip module, one of my favorites. Infinity makes another one. It's like a honeycomb, very aggressive texture. I love that too. But for this, it was the Atlas. The Atlas was the way to go. With the Atlas kit, I know it comes with your mag release, trigger, grip module. I'm trying to think if I don't know, they come with the grip screws, some other things. I can't remember. That was probably around $500, $600, $700, something like that, for kind of the Atlas kit. The gun, I don't know what sort of color I want to do yet on this. If I do a color, I don't know yet. But the gun, the Staccato XC now, this thing is awesome. Definitely one of my favorite guns now. And with the sear spring and some of the other adjustments, the Staccato XC has a trigger pull weight of about 2.5 pounds, I think, from the factory. That's what it was. And it was dead on 2.5. So, with some of the adjustments and kind of modifications and things like that, we got the trigger pull weight is damn near 1.5 pounds. It's crazy fast. I don't know if you can, so the slide is cocked. So here's your take up. Hopefully you can kind of see that. There's a reset. It's pretty sweet. So, trigger pull weight on this, I was getting consistently just right around 1.5, a little over 1.5. So 1.11. $113. 113. 113. So 113. Hey, it wasn't 1.5. It was 1 3/4 of a pound. So 1 pound, 13 ounces. Man, it's fucking pretty cool. If I was a competition shooter, I'd definitely kind of want probably this kind of setup just for speed, because it is crazy fast. It's weird going 2.5 pound trigger to 1.13. You can really tell a huge difference. I didn't think I'd be able to, but that kind of 3/4 of a pound lighter does make a difference. and the reset is a lot better. So yeah, I don't know if I kind of listed a couple of guns on Gunbroker, and not sure if I'm going to end up selling this or not. I actually just sold one of the Infinities on there, but yeah, this thing it's pretty cool. Very nice. So I would recommend everybody definitely get the grip module from Atlas because it makes your staccato, especially if you still have the polymer grip on it, a lot better. But yeah, no, it's pretty sweet, man. So just want to do a little quick video on this. And you may find it on Gunbroker here in a month or so. Not sure. Haven't made up my mind yet, but the thing is, it's probably one of the fastest guns I have now. So I'm not really sure if I want to get rid of it, but I think someone in the competition world will probably love something like this. So I'll do some more videos coming up soon, but just remember, Vulcan Machine Works. Don't send your staccato to them. Send a Glock, just in case they fuck it up like they did this.